Hey everyone, welcome back to the next video. Before I start, I want to say that make sure you save your work as you go throughout building your website, because you never know when something's going to go wrong or the internet might go down within your place or your workplace, and then you're going to lose everything that you have. So make sure that you're constantly saving your work as you go. Once you've completed something that's a little bit bigger, or you're halfway done through a page, make sure that you're saving that. And once you save it, it's also going to ask you to choose your domain name. So just put anything for now, or if you have something particular in mind, just go ahead and save and continue. I'm not going to publish this particular domain name. I'm going to have a custom domain name already. So I'm going to add that later on, and I'm going to show you guys how you can add already existing domain names, or if you want to have a new domain name or something better, then you can go ahead and go to GoDaddy, or you can go and create a actual domain name within Wix. So I'm going to show you how to do that later on. But for now, just save them. Don't publish them until you're ready to upload something and publish something to the web. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to focus mainly on helping you understand the core features, the fundamentals of the entire website. I'm going to start from left to right, and also I'm going to explain how you can change your background, how you can add text, how you can add different tools within your entire website, and then you'll be able to utilize those tips for every single page that you use. So I'm going to start from the left, and I'm going to explain to you how you can change the background. So understanding how to change the background is pretty simple. All you have to do is go all the way to the left and click this background button. Once you click this background button, it's going to pop up what you already have. So you can see that it has a gray right now, which is the same color as our background. Actual color of it. If you want it a different color, you can go ahead and change the different colors of your website, and as you hover over different colors, you can actually see that it changes around. I personally like this gray right here, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. Another thing you can add is an image as a background, which is also really awesome to do. It adds a lot more flavor to your website. I don't have any particular backgrounds right now, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. If you did have your own images, you can go ahead and press upload all the way at the top, upload my images. You go ahead and upload your images, and boom, it's going to load it up. You're going to press done, and then there you go. Now you can go ahead and change the background with whatever picture that you have. Some pictures might be too small, so they're not going to look as good on the website. So you're going to have to play around with the sizes of each picture to make sure that you're adding the correct one, the correct size, and nothing's blurry, because the last thing you want is for someone to view your website and have a blurry picture in the background. Especially the biggest picture on your website to be a blurry picture is not the best look. So you want to be as professional as possible and find a really clear, crisp, and perfect picture for your background if that's your goal for your website. I'm going to go ahead and add, I guess, the modern office one to see how it would look. And once I do that, you're going to see that it automatically changes in the background, and it's going to be throughout the entire background. It's actually going to go, it's not going to go through all the pages. You can actually make it go through all the pages by going back to the editor and going back to background, and in the settings, actually not here, you can access out at the very bottom down here, apply to other pages. Once you apply to other pages, the background is going to stay consistent throughout all the pages. If you don't want the background to stay consistent, then just don't click this button. Um, Also, you can actually add a video. So I can show you this floating particles effect. This one's pretty cool. I'm going to show you how that looks as well if you were to add that. And it's not going to show you how it's moving when you're in the editor, but once you go into the preview mode, it's going to show you how it moves around. If it starts to freeze up or the video seems shaky, it's the video that you have, rather your computer and the internet connection and how slow your computer might be if it's actually freezing. As you can see, sometimes these are freezing up. It's not because of the video, it's mainly because of the fact that your computer might be a little slower, so it doesn't process that part as fast. But if someone has a really fast computer, then they're not going to have that issue. For example, if one of your viewers has a really nice or very powerful computer, they're obviously not going to see those glitches. But you want to also make sure that if you're adding a video, that you understand that people who have, like the majority of people, don't have amazing computers. So if you have a video, it's going to be harder for a lot of people to load that actual part, and it might drive people away if they can't load that actual page up. So I personally would not put a video in the background. Maybe I'll put it as a regular video on the home page, but it wouldn't be the background, because I don't want slow loading speeds from page to page. I want it to be as fast as possible, as easy as possible for everyone to go from page to page and be able to see it and not have to worry about waiting too long. So as I said that, I'm going to go ahead and go switch back to the color, because it's the most easy to load. There's not going to be any issues with that, and if there is, then maybe your computer or internet connection isn't so good and maybe you should upgrade that. I'm just kidding, but go ahead and pick the background that you want from there. Also, you can actually change the different header backgrounds or the actual page background for that particular page, or even the footer background. And the way you do that is basically just go ahead and hover. Once it highlights the header word, then you can go ahead and double click it. Double click anywhere within that area, and you can see on the right now it popped up different things you can put within the header. So you can even have something different, like a line. This one looks pretty cool. You can have no colors. You can customize it personally when you press customize, and it'll give you different options for customizing everything for the header. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. This one looks pretty cool. I'm going to try that out for now and leave it there, and I'm going to go back if I don't like it later on to switch it over and anything like that. Also, you can go ahead and change the background by just clicking over here anywhere on the page. Make sure that if it's showing a 4 arrow sign, that you're not trying to change the background that way, because basically it's hovering over an image. So if you double click it, it's only going to start changing that image, or it's going to show you options for changing that image. It's not going to show you options to change the background. So you're going to have to go to where it's more of an emptier space and the arrow is just there, and then double click it. And when you double click it, it should pull up the page background this time, as you can see, and then you can go ahead and change it again. So there are different ways you can go ahead and change the background. You can also do that with the footer. Just double click on that, or if you click it one time, it's going to show you change for the design. It's going to go show settings, or the design right here as well, and I can go ahead and change that as well. So I'm going to go with, let me see if I can find the other one is for the bottom as well, so I can go ahead and change that. As you can see now, my footer and header is the same. It looks nice. Now I can actually even change the color of that. If I want it different from the background, I can actually change it. So let me show you how that would look. Like that. And it's only going to change the colors of that footer. It's not going to change the header or anything like that. And you can actually make it more opaque and change the opacity of the footer if you would like to do that. So that's actually great when you have a background that's really nice, but you want it to be consistent throughout the entire website, but at the same time you want a different color for that footer. So you would basically be able to make it, for example, 50% transparent, and the background of that website or of that page you'll still be able to see. So that's pretty cool as well. I'm not going to go too much into detail. You can go ahead and look through all of these and play around with it. I might go into it a little bit later in the course to explain some of the cool tricks that I see, and similar to making something transparent and then still seeing the background makes a cool effect to the website, makes it more professional, and shows that you put a lot more effort into this website. So we're going to go over that later as well. Alright, so as we continue on the left side, this is a place where you can add things. So you can add a text, image, gallery meaning different photos. As you can see as I scroll down, you can add different types of collages or galleries of photos, and they have a pretty big option for all the types of galleries that you can choose. So go ahead and look through the different ones and you can see what you can add. And the way you basically add anything is you can either click on it one time, so it says to add, just drag and drop, or you can just click on it and usually it would just show up randomly somewhere on the page, usually within the area that you're already looking at. So for example, let's say I want a large heading. I'm going to click on it, and as you can see, it comes up, and now what I can do is I can drag it around and put it anywhere that I want. I'm not going to need this, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. It's not letting me right click. Alright, so there we go, and I'm going to delete that. So I don't need that for now. You can add buttons, so if you have like a buy now button or click here for more information or anything that you really want people to take action on, you can add buttons to that as well. And then you can do the same thing, which is click on it, or you can even drag and drop. So let me drag and drop this 50% off. As you can see, it starts to highlight a certain box right here, as you can see in this area. And then once you let go, it's going to open it up. And here, now you can change the different size of the button. You can change the text. You can add a link. So if this is linking to another page of the website, then you press the link, and then it goes to that website, or that page. I don't need this as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. Just right click and delete. I'm not sure why it duplicated it. I'll go ahead and delete it. That's, yeah, another cool trick is being able to create a specific button that looks good and then just duplicating that over and over again for different parts of that page, so you don't have to keep going from scratch and building or changing the text all the time or changing the way that it looks all the time. You can just do it one time, and then you can right click and duplicate it, or right click and copy it, and then go to whatever page you want and then paste it on that page, and it's going to have the same form and the same text and everything, so it's a lot easier to do. Also, you can add a box, you can add a strip. A strip is basically similar to like this. It's just a strip on the website, a big, long, elongated picture on your website. Or you can add a video, but it's basically considered either one video or one picture. It wouldn't be like a gallery. If you want a gallery, you would need to go to the gallery section and then add the gallery there. You wouldn't particularly be able to add a strip and have multiple images on it. It's mainly, the purpose of it is for one thing only. So as you can see, I'll show you how to add it. Let's do this one. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and when I click on it, it's going to add it. So as you can see, it added it automatically when I just clicked it, or you can just go ahead and drag and drop. And now once it's on the page, you can adjust different things, like you can make it smaller, you can add the new text. And I'm going to go over this in the next video because I don't want to go too long on this particular topic and this video. So I'm going to explain the different features of adding those things and how you can play around with it. What else you can add? You can add shapes, videos, you can add YouTube videos, Vimeo, sorry about that. And they have different apps that are created by other people that you can use as widgets for your website. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with widgets, but basically what they are is different features you can add to your website that other people have created. Like, for example, different developers can create different widgets for different companies. So these apps that are created are either created by Wix, or they're created by other people who probably sold that app or that widget to Wix, and then you can actually add it to your website. So what else you can add? You can add different social features. You can see here, add commenting. You can add a follow button, Pinterest pin it, and you can just go ahead and scroll down through all the things that they have to offer and figure out which one's best for you, and then just add that. They have contact pages you can add as well. I'm going to show you how to do that in the next video, or in the videos following that. You can also add different menu bars. So let's say that maybe you didn't like this one already. You can actually click on it, double click on it, and change it through there, or you can even just go ahead and just find a different one. Just drag it on, right? Close. It's asking to add to header. It already understands it's going to show on all the pages, so just close that, and then you can see that it's going to show all the pages that you already have in a new themed actual menu. So I can actually go ahead and delete the next one. I would actually not do it that way. I would rather go ahead and click on it and edit it through there. But if you want to do it the other way, you can do it as well. Or if you want a slightly different menu bar from the header and the footer, you can actually change it around. Or if you want to add the same exact menu, you can actually do that as well. So let's say I want this, and I want this in the header, in the footer, I can actually add that there as well. And you can see it hasn't added it yet because saying that it's basically putting it on the main page, and I have to move it over here to the footer. So it's going to do that sometimes. If you want to go into the footer, it's going to give you some trouble sometimes because it's not you can't just fully drag it onto there. So you have to go all the way to the bottom of the page. When you're hitting the footer, it's going to actually pop up a button down here to move it to the footer. So that's when you can click that button, and now it's going to move it over to the footer, and now you can edit or move it around within the footer and add it there as well.